ABC 36's Anna Medina spoke with some experts and has the latest.
As gun laws and gun reform continue making headlines both locally and nationwide, many may be wondering, what are these specific laws in Kentucky and who is protected? I spoke with some experts who explained the Castle Doctrine and Stand Your Ground laws.
Well, in Kentucky, we have the Castle Doctrine, which essentially says if you're in your home and someone is trying to come in, they are presumed to have an intent to harm you, and you are presumed to feel as though you're in fear for serious bodily injury or death, which means you're allowed to use force to protect yourself.
After Lexington police say a man was shot by a homeowner during an overnight home invasion, there are questions lingering about what you can and cannot do when it comes to protecting yourself.
In Kentucky, in our statutes, we have one in particular. It's KRS 503.055. And this statute talks about the use of defensive force up to and including deadly force regarding a person's dwelling, residence, or occupied vehicle.
Kentucky adopted the Castle Doctrine in 2006, and experts add there are exceptions on the use of force.
So if the police are trying to enter a residence, for example, in the performance of their official duties, and they announce themselves, or the person living in the residence knows or has reason to know they're police, then that's another exception. And then the person living in the residence isn't just allowed to shoot or otherwise use deadly force against the police when they're performing their official duties.
The person is actually a lawful resident of the house. Say someone gets mad at their spouse, but there's no other orders, and that spouse is trying to come in, you cannot use deadly force to prevent your spouse or someone else that has a right to be in that property. That Castle Doctrine won't cover that. If you're committing some kind of felony or some other criminal act inside your house, the Castle Doctrine won't protect you at that point either.
Dan Carmen, a criminal defense attorney in Lexington, also spoke about how the Castle Doctrine and the Stand Your Ground law differentiate.
Stand Your Ground, that, as it's called, that portion of the statute has to do with whether a person has a duty to retreat when, under certain circumstances, say when they're not necessarily inside of a dwelling or residence or an occupied vehicle. So, in other words, being inside and acting otherwise lawfully while you're inside one of those things, that entitles one to a little bit more justification to use defensive force if they know or they have reason to know that somebody's breaking in.
Both attorneys stress that anyone in possession of a firearm should know the laws in their state and also know how to properly use it. Carmen also says it's important to remember when it comes to the use of defensive force and the use of deadly force, property does not enjoy the protection that people do. For now, Anna Medina, ABC 36 News.